Jesus' hidden years. A deeper look. The hidden years of Jesus refer to the period between his childhood and the beginning of his public ministry. The Bible gives very little information about this time, leaving many questions about what Jesus did between the ages of 12 and 30. However, we can infer some key details based on scripture, historical context, and Jewish customs. 1. The last biblical account before the hidden years. The only recorded event from Jesus' youth after his birth narratives is when he was 12 years old and went to the temple in Jerusalem with his parents. Luke 2:41-50 tells how Mary and Joseph lost Jesus for 3 days, only to find him in the temple, speaking with the teachers and amazing them with his understanding. When Mary questioned him, Jesus responded, Luke 2:49, "Why did you seek me? Did you not know that I must be about my Father's business?" This moment gives a glimpse into Jesus' self-awareness of his divine mission, even at a young age. After this event, Luke 2:51-52 says that Jesus returned to Nazareth and was obedient to his parents. 2. Jesus' growth and development. Spiritual growth. Luke 2:52. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature, and in favor with God and man. This suggests he grew mentally, physically, spiritually, and socially. Education in Jewish customs and scripture. As a Jewish boy, Jesus would have been educated in the Torah, Genesis, Deuteronomy, and other Hebrew scriptures. He likely attended the local synagogue, where he learned from rabbis. His deep scriptural knowledge, displayed later in his ministry, indicates years of careful study. Work as a carpenter. Mark 6:3. Is this not the carpenter, the son of Mary? Jesus was known as a carpenter, which means he likely learned and worked in Joseph's trade. The Greek word tekton used here can mean carpenter, builder, or craftsman, suggesting he worked with wood and possibly stone. This physical labor would have kept him humble and disciplined. 3. Jesus' daily life in Nazareth. Nazareth was a small town, possibly with a population of just a few hundred people. Life would have been simple Jesus, lived among ordinary people, working and interacting with neighbors. His earthly experience allowed him to later relate to the struggles of common people. 4. Theories and speculations about the hidden years. AD Jesus travel? Some non-biblical traditions claim Jesus traveled during this period, but there is no scriptural evidence to support this. India or Tibet theory. Some suggest Jesus went to India to study Eastern philosophies, but this theory emerged only in the 19th century and lacks historical support. Egypt theory. Since Jesus' family briefly lived in Egypt as a child, Matthew 2:13-15, some speculate he returned there later for study, but this is not recorded in the Bible. B. Did Jesus live as an ascetic or Essene? The Essenes were a Jewish sect known for their strict discipline and isolation in the wilderness. Some speculate Jesus may have been influenced by them, but he does not fully align with their teachings. Unlike the Essenes, Jesus interacted with all people sinners, tax collectors, and the poor rather than separating himself from society. 5. Why are Jesus' hidden years important? They show the value of preparation. Jesus spent decades in quiet obedience before his 3-year ministry changed the world. God often works in hidden seasons before revealing his plans. They highlight Jesus' humanity. Jesus lived an ordinary life. He worked, grew, obeyed his parents, and interacted with his community. Hebrews 4:15, For we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses, but was in all points tempted as we are, yet without sin. They emphasize humility. The King of Kings lived in obscurity for most of his life, teaching us patience and humility. 6. Transition to his public ministry. Around age 30, Jesus' public ministry began when he was baptized by John the Baptist, Luke 3:21-23. This marked the end of his hidden years and the beginning of his mission to proclaim. The hidden years of Jesus remain a mystery, but what we do know is profound. During this time, he grew in wisdom, worked humbly, and prepared for his divine mission. Though the Bible is silent on many details, these years serve as a reminder that God's timing is perfect, and he prepares his servants even in seasons of quiet obscurity. Though these years are mostly silent, they prepare Jesus for his mission. He lived as a common man, experiencing human struggles, yet remained sinless. His hidden years remind us that God works in the quiet seasons of life before revealing his greater plans.